Hello everyone and welcome. In this video we're going to be checking out the 2015 Nissan Murano. This particular trim is the SV all-wheel drive. Daytime running lights, fog lights, LEDs all over. It also has an active grille shutter up front. This vehicle has a coefficient of drag of 0.31, which is actually really good for an SUV, and it's better than the rest of the SUVs which I've tested. MSRP as tested comes to $37,515. Nice large trunk. You can also fold down the rear seats, 60-40 split. And check this out, this is pretty interesting. They've actually mounted one of the subwoofers inside of the spare tire. So it's actually, there's a hole in the center of it, which is holding down both the subwoofer and the spare tire. And this is just resting inside of this spare. This is a 3.5 liter V6 engine, dual overhead cams, 4 valves per cylinder, variable valve timing on both the intake and the exhaust, aluminum block end heads. It produces 260 horsepower at 6,000 RPM and 240 pound-feet of torque at 4,400 RPM. Power is sent to all 4 wheels through a CVT transmission. At all 4 corners, Michelin 235/65 R18 tires. Okay, sitting in the interior, I think one of the first things you'll notice is just how comfortable these seats are. I was at an event up in Washington and there was 27 vehicles that we got to test drive all on the same day, and of those 27 vehicles, I found the Nissan Murano seats to be the most comfortable. Now moving on to the steering wheel, leather wrapped, feels fine. You've got all kinds of controls on it. Your phone, you can mess with the display settings. You've got volume adjustment, cruise control. Now, moving on to the infotainment system, really nice large screen you've got here, and the controls overall are pretty straightforward. So, you can go right to your audio, you can go straight to your map, you can go right to the main menu, and all of this is real simple to use up on front. Switch to the camera. I do like how kind of simple and intuitive this is to use, so I appreciate that. Now, you don't have paddle shifters, but you can put the gear selector into this manual selection mode and select between preset gear ratios in the CVT transmission. You also have this large center console area, plenty of space in here, and this little removable tray. Now, as far as visibility, out the front is pretty good, though the front windshield is pretty far away from the driver. Checking the rear, not too bad overall, though you do have this large area where the D-pillar is, where it's kind of blocked out, so not that great in that direction, but aside from that, pretty good. And then checking your blind spot, not bad at all. So overall, visibility is pretty good. You also do have this large panoramic sunroof, which is pretty nice. So sitting in the rear, these seats are honestly just as comfortable as up front, and as you can see, I've got plenty of leg room, so a decent distance in front of me and the seat head, which is adjusted to where I will be driving, and I'm about 6'1". You've got power windows here, and you also have AC vents as well as a USB input there. And you also have this little storage compartment right here, which, you can sit your phone, perhaps use it as a selfie stand if you want to take a picture of yourself. You can find that on my Instagram. Folding down this center area, you've got 2 cup holders here and additional storage, so pretty nice overall back here. Plenty of features for the rear occupants, and it's comfortable. Now, the steering feel is actually extremely light, probably one of the lightest feels of the vehicles I've driven, so it kind of makes the whole driving experience very effortless, which I can imagine can be a benefit for a lot of people. They don't want to put much effort into it and just have this really effortless driving experience. The seats are super comfortable, the suspension is really soft, the interior is actually really, really quiet, and the steering wheel is pretty effortless. So pretty much the whole experience, is just kind of this effortless, comfortable thing, and you can get where you're going, and you've got your point A to point B commuter that does it all in a really comfortable fashion. Now, this does have a Bose audio system, which is part of the premium package. It's a $2,200 option, which includes this panoramic moonroof above me. And the thing about that, $2,200 for this additional audio system, personally, I didn't think that the audio system sounds all that terrific. It definitely sounds good, but this has a really quiet interior, and I thought because of that, the audio system would really shine, and it doesn't sound all that spectacular. It sounds good by all means, but there's definitely other vehicles which I've driven which have sounded quite a bit better, especially when you're paying that much for the premium audio system. Now, I've completed my fuel economy test course, approximately 53 miles, primarily highway with some city and some hills mixed in. This vehicle is rated 21 on the city, 28 on the highway, and as you can see, it achieved 29.3 miles per gallon on my test course. Now this vehicle actually gets 20% better fuel economy than the previous generation Murano. So driving on the highway, I've got the cruise control set at 65, and actually this interior is really quiet. It's probably one of the best ones of the vehicles I've tested. In fact, it's really close to the Escalade. So you're looking at about 72, 73 decibels. So really quiet interior, really nice for driving on highway. And this is a really rough highway, so the fact that it sounds as quiet as it does in here is pretty impressive.